What message is this sending to investors? What message is this sending to you if it says the only PPP project that we have should be cancelled, and he wants a PPP project at the light rail? So just compare what he's saying.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, my question.
Sorry. Just a clarification.
One more, please, quiet.
A clarification on the Lekki toll gate. Mr. Ambode has been in government for 27 years, and I stand to be corrected. The Lekki toll gate today is not a PPP arrangement. There is no PPP arrangement on the Lekki toll gate. What we said was that particular toll gate was given out as PPP for 50 billion from Victoria Island to Ekpe. It got to VCC and it was stopped. The arrangement, the concession was stopped, and the concessionaire was giving 80 billion even without connecting to Ekpe. It is now government and government alone. So what is being terminated is not a PPP arrangement. Jimmy Agbaje has not said that he's going to terminate the PPP arrangement on the Ikoyi-Lekki toll, on the Ikoyi-Lekki link bridge. That will remain as PPP because it is new, because there is an alternative for the people. But that Lekki toll one is no longer a PPP arrangement. So we are not saying that we're discouraging those who want to do partnership with government.
Thank you. Okay, are you?
No, because you see, there's a misinformation here.
Hold on, please. Let's hear the candidate.
I need to ask a new question.
You want to ask a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So let's move on, please. My question is around the mega city. A mega city requires a number of things, and two of them, to my mind, will be electricity and broadband infrastructure. Beyond what has been done today, what would be your initiatives to improve access to electricity for businesses and also access to broadband infrastructure for businesses in Lagos?
Yes. With regards to power, thankfully the federal government has privatized power. And what that means is that with time, it can only get better. Because don't forget that people have gone out taking heavy loans to bring about power. They must make a success of it. So in the interim, what the state government should be doing is how to supplement. And so the IPP that is being done in terms at least of the government facilities is a good idea. But bearing in mind that it is temporary, because as power improves, then there'll be less need for that. In terms of broadband, again, you must have this. And that's why you will find that we're talking about even encouraging our younger ones, where we're going to provide what we call free Wi-Fi hotspots. And basically what you have is that, for example, our local government councils, there must be places where our younger ones can go and access internet facilities, especially outside Lagos metropolis, in Ekpe, in Badagry, in Ikorodu, because it's a source of knowledge. It's a source of transactions. Our business people, our small-scale people, should be able to go there and transact business. It's not something that can be done. We're not going to wire Lagos overnight, but we can begin to have these spots so that this can happen. And then we leave it to the Mrs. Okwekes and and those who benefit from main one cable to give the bigger services. But as an interim measure, that's the kind of thing that we're thinking about.
Thank you. Can we ask the APC candidate to respond to that question? Would you like the question again?
No.
Okay.
Power and provision for electricity is the mainstay and the responsibility of the federal government, which is a PDP government. What you have today in Lagos, the demand for electricity is 9,680 megawatts. What they are giving you is less than 900 megawatts. It's a shortfall of almost 9,000. But be that as it may, what is Lagos State government doing, and what are we doing? We've supplemented that with the Independent Power Project scheme, in which we are able to light up all your public utilities and all the streets and the general hospitals. What do you have in return? Rather than the federal government allowing us to provide you, investors and businessmen, this source of electricity, they blocked it. That's what they've done. So what else do we need to do? As much as we're trying to supplement their shortfall, they keep frustrating our businesses and not allowing people to have access to electricity. That's what is there. Beyond that, we've talked about Wi-Fi. Yes, I read in one of those bold ideas. They say they want to provide fast internet access, but is there electricity to even use the internet?
Thank you. Okay.
Sorry.
You like to respond?
Yes,
okay.
just a minute. Again, we must be consistent. Mr. Ambode, some time ago, was an advocate of PPP. He now says that government or federal government is blocking them from providing power to the people. Nobody is blocking the state government from providing power to the people. Some people have put all their lives' investments in bringing about power as private people. And the guarantees they had was that they will be the ones to generate and distribute electricity. The moment you begin to take their market, then you are killing the private sector. What should happen is to allow those people to provide the electricity. Government has enough to do on its own to provide electricity for its own agencies. They have not done that. We have not fully lit up the whole of Lagos. Government should use its resources to make sure that its own facilities, its own local government councils have power so that the free Wi-Fi can work. That is what should happen. So it will not be right to kill private industry by saying that what government wants to do or what the state government wants to do is to take the juicy parts of Lagos and provide electricity in a manner that is not transparent and is not open. That should not be. Let government take care of its own institutions. It still has enough of institutions to cover, and let the private sector provide electricity for the people.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to move on now. Funke, you have a question for the APC candidate?
Yes. As residents and people doing business in Lagos, we are often held to ransom by our dear area boys who accost us as we are trying to move around the state, or we're hauling goods and equipment for our businesses. What are your plans to reform this menace on the streets of Lagos and positively engage our youth, these touts, in Lagos?
We've done it before, and we'll continue to improve on it. We will rehabilitate all our area boys to ensure that they are fully engaged. That nobody wants to be an area boy. Once they are engaged and they have, jobs to do and earn income. We've done it in the area of landscaping and the greening of Lagos. We took a whole number of them off the streets, and that's why you see those people who are maintaining the greening part of Lagos, that the people that were rehabilitated. We will continue to do that. We will also ensure that we enforce all our laws that are against area boys. Nobody wants to be tagged an area boy. We want to create more jobs for our younger ones so that we can take all of them off the streets. And that's why we're having all this scheme.
Okay, will the PDP candidate like to respond to that, please, sir?
Yeah, I think very quickly. We've got to address education. We've got to address technical and vocational skills. A lot of these people did not have good education. And again, the Lagos state is guilty. We still have in our Lagos, as at the last O-level results, where more people failed WASC than those that passed with 5 credits, including maths and English. So a state government where the majority of its children are failing O-levels is only preparing for more area boys. Secondly, we also have a situation where we do not have a local government structure that is set up for governance. Our local government structure in Lagos State is simply a political machinery, and therefore it continues to encourage the rolling out of these area boys, because all the local government does is to mobilize people for rallies, is to mobilize people for politics. We need to begin to look at our local government as a governance structure that is going to be providing services.
We have the last 3 questions from our panelists. Then there's some questions that we've chosen from the audience, which we were going to ask both candidates. If for any reason your question doesn't get asked, it means that both candidates have already covered that aspect, okay? So please do not be upset. If your question is not asked, it means that both candidates have touched upon that subject matter already. The last 3 questions from panelists. So please, once again, can we maintain some decorum and please respect both candidates as they speak. Thank you. Gabriel. The question is for the PDP candidate, please.
Thank you. The next question. What are your plans to take real estate and housing in Lagos to the level that is consistent with your vision for Lagos State, and sort out the hurdles that we continue to see, like the Omonile and the very complex land title process?
Thank you very much. Well, you say it's the largest housing scheme. It'd be interesting to note how many there are, because even by its own admission, this present government, or those in this present government, say that since 1999 to date, they have produced under 25,000 housing units since 1999. Now, for us, the way forward for housing, because again, Lagos, again by their admission, is nearly 70% slum. And that means that we need to do something different. In doing something different means that we have to look at what is affecting housing in this state. One, the cost of land. Now, the cost of land, yes, Lagos land is gold. But then if you want to build houses for the masses, you must reduce the cost of land. As a partner in the project with the private sector, the cost of land must be contribution of government to near zero, so that you're bringing a cost that brings it down to zero. You are also addressing the issues of approved permits and all, or bureaucracy that is there in building houses. You must reduce that. And then you must accept that building houses today is not like doing hand job where you do a shoe a week. It's about mass production. And therefore you're talking about industrial scale housing. You're doing prefab structures. You're putting them together and you're bringing them up. You're then looking at the other side of it, which is the finance side of it, where you're beginning to partner with the mortgage institutions that will work to roll out, to finance these projects. There must be a measure of guarantee on the part of government in ensuring that once those houses come up, the developers can cash out and build more houses. That in a nutshell is the way we're looking at it. That it's not possible to address housing. The housing needs of Lagos is in excess of 200,000 a year. And we're looking at a situation where in 16 years, Lagos can only boast of having presented under 25,000 housing units. I'm not saying that government must provide the 200,000 units, but government must show the way in how to bring about housing in a better way. So if you address the issue of construction permits, you address the issue of title, you address the bureaucracy that is attached to it, you encourage industrial scale housing, then we will find that our housing situation will be much, much improved than it has been in the last 16 years.
Thank you. I would like to ask a response from the APC candidate.
For each house that is constructed, there are hundreds of jobs that go with it. Yes, you have Lagos homes. The intention of Lagos homes is to mitigate against the shortfall that we have in the housing needs of Lagosians. But the state government cannot provide housing alone. So what has the state government been doing is to partner with private sector developers to ensure that we provide land as equity to allow them to be able to provide these houses in a cheaper format. What has been done is to create middle-level housing units that allow our people to have access. What our people want and what they're saying is that they want cheaper houses. They know that government cannot provide for them. So in addition to that, we're planning to say that we'll have rent-to-own scheme where we can even provide studio apartments for our younger ones. They don't need to buy it. They